Hi and welcome to On the Record, your playbook for tapping India. Today we'll talk about a topic which has been going around in Indian founder circles a lot and there has not been a concrete answers. Let's see if I am able to help you identify some of these gaps and then help you find what would be the right way. So I'm going to talk about if you have an international HQ and if you are residing in India, what is the way you can create your Indian subsidiary? Now this has been a very complex topic for last 2 decades. There has been different kind of options going on. First and foremost, I would like to talk about the gift route. Although this option is kind of deprecated now, but since it has been so much popular and a lot of people still follow this, I thought it's good to mention that, how this option works and why it is now deprecated. So what is the gift route? Basically what happens in this model is somebody else, maybe your friend, your relatives, incorporates a company in, say for example, let's talk Indo-US. So your friend or relative incorporates the HQ or the supposed to be HQ in US. Then they come back and incorporate a subsidiary in India. And then they used to gift the entire shares to you, to the actual founders via a gift route. And then after all these transactions is done, then the startup used to raise money. All this while, since there has not been any concrete activity that has gone into the startup, the valuations remains really low and you are able to do the whole transactions at a valuation of say $1,000, $2,000 kind of thing. Now till now, RBI or the FEMA used to exempt shares received through gift. So if you have received the shares of a foreign company via gift route, you didn't have to report it to RBI. But in August 2022, they brought a new notification where they mentioned now even if you receive shares from anyone as a gift, you have to report it to RBI. Now what is the challenge? The challenge is if you have got the shares and if you have to do FEMA compliances, the first thing that it would ask is, do you have a subsidiary in India? And as soon as you say yes, then you would not be able to complete your FEMA filings. That means you are already in violation of FEMA. So the FEMA rule says if the founders are based in India and if they have a company anywhere outside India, that company cannot set up a subsidiary in India. That is why initially you chose to do a gift route, because when the company was formed in India, it was not with the resident people, it was with some of your friends and relatives who was in US, Singapore or anywhere else in the world. And since gifting was exempted, you followed this route so that FEMA compliances will not kick in at any point of time in life. But now after RBI bringing in gift route, this route is kind of deprecated. So if you are still doing it, be aware there could be an important glitch or a violation of FEMA laws and you could face severe penalties and stuff. This was actually the most popular route for the last 2 decades, 2+ decades I would say, where majority of the companies who are HQing outside India and forming a subsidiary in India were following this route, and it is kind of creeped in really deep into the system. But no more, so please be aware. The second option that I want to talk about is the ESOP route. Now as soon as the gift route got banned, or I would say as soon as the gifting came into FEMA's purview, one of the quickest workaround that came into the market was to float a company and give the ESOPs. So ESOPs are still exempted out of the FEMA laws, but let me evaluate what are the plus and minuses of this point. So let's look at how the ESOP route works. Again, somebody else, maybe your known friends or family member, incorporates the company in US, then that company forms a subsidiary in India, and then almost all the shares of the company are given to the founders through ESOP. The major challenge is, so generally you would be aware that ESOP pool balances are 10 to 15 or 20, 25% is what is carved out as ESOP pool. But here assume since founders are getting it, you are giving almost about 100% of the company to the founders via ESOP route, and that too within 1 to 4 weeks of having the subsidiary in India. So this to me it looks to be a blatant violation of the intent of the law. In US it is not prohibited. They haven't specified any specific timelines that this is what ESOP has to follow. The challenge is you may sail through right now because as you all know, like in India, things don't get caught up so soon. It takes few years before the government starts cracking down on such loopholes. So whenever there is a scrutiny, and it could come anytime in the future, then we don't know how the authorities would react to. Within 4 weeks, 100% of the company has been given as ESOP to the founders just to make sure that you don't have to go through the FEMA compliances which is specified. Secondly, this method is not time tested. What what does it mean? It means that companies who have followed such structure haven't raised serious capital and haven't gone through advanced round of due diligence where the lawyers could have pointed out that this is not the right way or this is an acceptable way. So the chances are really high that as you grow and when you go to an investor to raise money, they could say that this is a very wrong structure and we cannot invest into this structure. Just because the business is fundable, the startup is fundable, but the structure is wrong. So either you have to again wind up the structure, create a new suggested structure, or so that would delay the time, or it could defer the whole possibility of investors backing out. So be aware, talk to real good experts before you choose to do this. My strong suggestion is don't go via this route. So in the interest of time, we are splitting this topic into two parts. Stay tuned and watch our part 2 for sure, because it also covers a lot of important other options that is available for you to enter or have your presence in India when you are founders based out of India. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you soon.